have skin that was stretched and damaged from a steroid weight gain. Now I've lost the weight. Would the skin be too damaged to support a tummy tuck? Really good, insightful question. And this is a sort of question that I like because it shows, I suppose this is one of the good things, we normally think it's, well, it's one of the good things about people doing research. I was going to say, is it good or bad people doing research? I guess it is good. It's good for us proper, fully trained plastic surgeons because it means you can ask lots of questions. The more questions you ask, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And if so, it is good to be informed. Sometimes people go well into it. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I've got a question in a minute where someone's gone well into it. But it is good that you've gone into it and asking this question, because what it does is it highlights one of the struggles we've got as surgeons. I think sometimes people think, oh, you're a really good surgeon, you can do really great things, which of course is true, but there are limitations, and what you've got to think about is obviously the reason someone needs a tummy tuck. And to be honest with you, it's the same for any sort of breast same for any body contouring: tummy tucks, mastopexies, facelifts, arm lifts, thigh lifts, whatever. If you need a tuck of some description, it is because your skin has been stretched, in this case with a steroid weight gain, meaning being on steroids for some reason, and that makes you put on weight, classically what we call centripetal obesity, so it puts the weight on centrally, so it's often that the stomach will be affected. And one of the problems is that the skin has lost its elasticity. So the skin is unable to recoil. So it's a bit like, for instance, if you had a pregnancy. If you have one pregnancy, especially if it's a small child, your abdomen may be stretched a little bit. After that, your abdomen will snap back. The skin has got a natural elasticity. If you stretch it, it will recoil. But if you keep on stretching it, not like an elastic band, because they do keep on snapping back, but like something that wouldn't keep on snapping back. I haven't thought this through really. Something, can you imagine something, like a sofa, right? Like a sofa. You sit on it, nice and springy, isn't it? And then years go by, it doesn't recoil as well. Maybe you have to work on the analogy there, but the principle is, my head coming off the top. The principle is that the skin loses its elasticity, and so it doesn't recoil as well as you'd like, and therefore that is why you need a tummy tuck or whatever, substitute any tuck type thing you like. So the principle is the skin has lost its elasticity, so we excise the skin, we remove the skin. But the problem is the skin that's left behind is the same inelastic, or sort of not flabby, but inelastic skin. And so the paradox is that it's not a paradox. The paradox is the less of a, should do it later on, shouldn't I? Should have made some notes. Using terms like paradox, trying to be fancy, using terms like paradox, I've used the wrong word there, because there is a paradox. The paradox is that if you've only had like one child and just got a little bit of excess skin in your tummy, the surgery is more difficult. That's the paradox, but it doesn't work for this elasticity thing. Anyway, no one's on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everyone's at work. Oh, Donna's on. Oh, Tracy's, apart from Donna and Tracy and Donna are on, but anyway, maybe I should just stop and do it again at 7. So basically what I'm trying to say, so Donna's in. What's Don? I gained nearly 5 stone in 8 months. So I've lost the weight, but my skin is so stretched, but it has dimples. Yeah. Okay, good. Right. Okay. So not paradox. The thing is, the more that you stretch the skin, whilst you can excise the skin when you do a tummy tuck, the skin has been damaged. And like you talking about the striae are often sequelae of steroids. Steroid causes these striations in the skin, but also, stretch marks are evidence of damage to the skin. So people have a lot of stretch marks. That means that skin has been damaged. So it's a really good question, because the answer is, so we say to, come on guys, we're non-workers, come on, get out there, get into the workforce, guys. You know, 4 o'clock. I'm going to get abuse now. Everyone's going to say they are at work, aren't they? So the thing is, yes, the answer is yes, you can do a tummy tuck in someone who's lost the weight and has got poor quality skin, like who's had steroids and got striae and what have you. But the skin that's left behind will be less tight. So I'm not saying it's still a good thing to do, because you can tighten the skin and get rid of the excess skin, but you will get a less good result than someone who had better quality skin. But then someone with better quality skin maybe would need the operation less. You know, same with facelifts. People who are smokers, sun exposure, live in Marbella, they've got poor quality skin. You can do a facelift, you can tighten it, but the skin that you leave behind is not quite such good quality. You can't improve the quality of the skin. Same with the mastopexy, you know, breast lift. You can tighten the skin, you can remove that skin, make it all tight, but the skin that's left behind has by definition lost its elasticity. That's why you need the surgery in the first place. So you are still leaving behind skin that has lost its elasticity, so you won't get quite as good a result. The other thing about steroids is that they do delay wound healing. But Donna, I think you're saying that you're off the steroids. Are you saying that? On steroids 4 years ago. So I'm assuming you're no longer on steroids, because that's the other thing to take into account. If you are on steroids, or if you're on something, well, first of all, steroids can make you give you delayed wound healing. Secondly, if you are on steroids, then you wait. You know, you've got to have your weight stable. Oh, that's a question. We're going to have a question in a minute about that. But you need to have your weight sort of stable for surgery. But yeah, so that is a really good question, Donna. So I would say you will not get as good a result as someone who didn't have such stretched skin, but then the person who didn't have such stretched skin may not need the operation so much. I mean, the ideal candidate is someone with really good elastic skin with loads of excess, but those people don't exist, because if you've got really elastic skin, you won't have loads of excess. It'll recoil back. So it's just it's a challenge for us as surgeons. You know, the more your skin's been stretched, the better result you're going to get, because you're going to have a big problem that we can fix, but the worse the result you're going to get, because the skin that you've got that we leave behind is still your skin, which has got less elasticity. I hope that's okay. I hope that makes sense. But it's a really good question, and I hope I've done it justice, because that's a good point. And so it won't be too damaged to support a tummy tuck. We can still do the tummy tuck, but you may feel that your skin is still a bit wobbly and not as tight as a drum as you like. We make it as tight as a drum when you do the surgery. If you saw us do the surgery, we make it as tight as a drum whenever you do a tummy tuck, facelift, mastopexy, whatever. You make it really, really tight. But then over time, the skin gives, because it is that your skin which has been damaged by the steroids or by the stretch.